Hey everyone, Dan here. Before we get into it, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button. It helps a lot. And also keep in mind, these are my own thoughts, opinions, and ideas. These are not meant to be, nor should you take them as investment or trading advice in any way, shape, or form. Do your own due diligence, put in the work for yourself, and make your decisions based on that. Enjoy.
All right, folks, here we are after market close on Friday, December 10th. We're going to take a look at SoFi. So SoFi having another really big drawdown again today, over 4%. Overall, not doing anything so dissimilar from the rest of the fintech space. ARC-F coming down over a little over 2%, FinX coming down a little over 1%. So SoFi about 4xing the downward movement of those indexes. Now, to me, that's not super surprising, right? SoFi is sort of probably seen as just a riskier stock. It's at a growth stage. Recently de-SPACed. It has a lot of these factors that in a market that's feeling relatively uncertain and certainly not feeling like the fintech darlings are in favor at the moment, that it would take sort of a brunt of much of this movement. So just to unpack the day, just before market open, we saw it jumped off this 1557 level, tried to make a run at 16, double topped and then sold off into open and tried to catch itself. A few minutes into open, flipped it, wasn't able to hold, made a kind of effort. Didn't quite get that close, but got within about 10 cents of trying to test that 1557 again, and then the sell-off just ensued. Now, there was broader selling off going on at that point as well, right? There's obviously a bunch of market factors bleeding in here, and some of the news today certainly accounting for steeper sell-offs at points, and then some recovering. And SoFi just sort of mostly taking part in the selling off, but not really much of any of the recovering. And that's sort of symptomatic of what I was just describing, being seen as a riskier asset in the broader scheme of things in the overall market. And when the market is not wanting to take on risk, these are not the stocks that are going to get bought up, even if the broader market is seemingly recovering. And pulling the VWAP for the day, the VWAP, especially after a lost 1557 support, just served as resistance the entire day, right? 1, 2, 3, just about 4 times throughout the day. Just couldn't get anything going over the VWAP. If we pull in the EMAs, I mean, just sort of like continuously hanging like an EMA band above the price action, except for like toward the very end of the day here. So we'll see if that gives us any lift going into the next week. But, like I said, I think that it's predominantly a victim of macro forces at the moment, and that in conjunction with the stage in its life cycle that it's at, and people not willing to take on seemingly riskier plays for the time being. Now we pull out to the daily here, we're pretty securely stuck in this down channel. Still, 1402 would be the level that I'd look for to the downside. It's putting in a little bit of something here around 1506. I mean, we might as well just call that 15. You see the topping out here, right around 15 previously. You saw a flip from support to resistance on this candle, and also it played a factor in here, right? That just under 15 back here. So there certainly is a bit of a sort of a zone of pretty secured support around that 15 level. So we'll see if that holds. And if not, then yeah, my concern would be that there might be another dollar to the downside before we even have a chance to bounce there. And even then it would be questionable of whether or not it would be able to. Now, I think the best hope, to be honest, for SoFi to pull itself out, it probably can't rely on something in the broader market, because I don't know when that will start to sort of seem like it is smoother sailing. But I think that it all relies at this point on the bank charter coming through. I think that they need news of that sort of caliber in order to kind of push this back, like swinging back to the bulls. And even then, I honestly am really not great at unpacking news catalysts and figuring out what the reaction will be. So who even knows? But I would think after this sell-off, my 2 cents at the moment would be, I'd be surprised if it was priced in. But but who knows? But I do think that that's sort of needed at this point in time, that catalyst. And just in case you're a newer viewer and you didn't see this when we went over it many moons ago, there are 3 interesting LinkedIn profiles. Chad Borton, President, SoFi Bank at SoFi, right? Showing this SoFi Bank information. Previous bank presidents, previously EVP, head of consumer and business banking. So like, seems like the right background. This person, Paul Mayer, President, SoFi Bank Information, Vice President, Corporate Strategy at SoFi. So currently at SoFi in a different role. And then finally, this profile here, Treasurer at SoFi Bank, CFO Information. So definitely, again, like a background that would tend to make sense. So that's what I think we're going to need at this point in time in order to turn this around. And so we'll see. Other than that, if we're relying on the chart, 1557, if we can re-grab support there, then maybe we can start to stabilize. Otherwise, that $15 level, like I just talked about, that's not on the chart at the moment, but has sort of proven itself in the shorter term to have some power. And then 1402 if we can't hold that $15 level and it flips to resistance. All right, folks, I hope you found another way to make money this week in the markets. I hope that you had a good week and that, you just found ways to manage this risk, or, however it is that you handle these things. I know it's different for everyone, but I certainly wish you the best. And as always, I appreciate you watching. I will see you in the next video.